Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. You know, a lot of times there are different reasons why relationships fall apart and why marriages fall apart. Sometimes that has to do with money, sometimes that has to do with personality. When we see a lot of custody disputes, it is often the case that you got parents with different parenting styles. In other words, it's not typical that one person will be, just a person who's in the workforce, who does a legitimate job and has, a mainstream lifestyle, and they happen to have had a child with a heroin addict, and so they're trying to work out the custody disputes. Yes, that can happen, but in most cases, the custody disputes aren't between one stellar parent and one horrible parent. They tend to be between two fairly similar people. The problem that they have is that they have different parenting styles. And this is not uncommon. I mean, if you think about it, even in households where the parties get along great and it's a long-term marriage and they have kids or whatever, it is often the case that dad has a different parenting style than mom. In some households, the mom is running more of a police state and the dad is running Disneyland. And sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes the mom is the compassionate one, dad is the disciplinarian. What does it mean? It may stem from the fact that they had different personalities coming into the relationship, and so they parent differently. And maybe that's all that it's all about. It does become a little bit challenging when we break up that family to have successful custody arrangements going on where one person is very rigid and one person is very flexible. Oftentimes we see problems with getting schoolwork done and stuff like that. So like if dad is more flexible, kids will be sent to dad on the weekend with a back of homework, and then come Sunday night, the homework's not done. I mean, this can happen. It's an argument all the time. How come I always have to be the heavy? How come I always have to be the one to discipline them? And you're the favorite because you don't have any rules. Well, that may be the case, but you know what? It probably didn't just start out that way in the post-divorce or post-relationship era. There was probably a difference in parenting style during the relationship when it was good. And so it's not going to improve when the relationship falls apart. You can well expect the same kind of things to go on. If dad's more of a strict structure kind of disciplinarian kind of guy, he's likely to be that way when the relationship splits up. If he's running Disneyland at home, when the relationship splits up, he's going to be running Disneyland again. And that's just the way it's going to be. So the way to resolve problems like that is for the parents to recognize that, there may not be a right or wrong way to do it. There may be different influences that impact the children. And so, mom may insist the schoolwork be done, and dad may be a little easier on that. On the other hand, maybe dad does more fun things with the kids and helps them more socially, whereas mom is shoring up their academics. So I think if the parties recognize that they parent differently, I think as long as they appreciate that this is not done by one parent to undermine the other, but rather is simply a function of how they are in their life, I think there is what to embrace about the difference between how they parent, and there's room for compromise. The moment parents think that it's being done to undermine the other parent, then everything goes out the window. Then you can't compromise it, you can't work it out. So the main thing the parents have to do in a situation where they parent differently is to recognize that this is more of a function of personality and lifestyle than it is about undermining the other parent. And I think if they approach it from that standpoint, the custody disputes and the problems that you have are going to be fewer and fewer. If you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.